the big question is this: how do pastors like us who remain focused on the mission of Jesus and serving our communities without being distracted by everything in the world around us, how do we increase our effectiveness while living a lifestyle that doesn't compromise our health, our families, or our personal relationships with Jesus? That's the question this podcast is going to answer. I'm Dr. Brandon Party Cooper, and welcome to the Ministry Hackers Podcast. What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Ministry Hackers Podcast. I am doing wonderful today. I hope you are doing well. I'm actually sitting here with my son. He is over there just hanging out. So if you hear a few screams or anything else, just know that is Emerson, my 1-year-old, and he is having a great time playing with his blocks and his cars. My question for you today is, do you feel like your day is just out of sync or out of rhythm and you're just trying to get a handle on what it is you need to do today and actually get it done? When I was starting out in ministry, I was serving for a youth pastor, Craig Cunningham, who is a great pastor, one of my mentors along the way. And I remember I had just started helping him out in his youth ministry, and he gave me a book about a month or two in, and he said, "Here, you need to read this book." And the book was Ordering Your Private World. I believe the author McDonald was his last name. And, I was young and I was excited about ministry. And so I was like, sure, I'll read essentially whatever you hand me and whatever you put in my hands, I'll read it. And so I sat and I read the book, Ordering Your Private World. And it was a great book just about managing life and managing yourself and managing your time. And one of the principles that I pulled out that I have carried with me through 20 plus years of ministry is understanding the rhythms that you work within. And so in the book, he talks about your daily rhythms, weekly, monthly, and even annual rhythms. And so what I mean by that is, for me, I have a daily rhythm. I have a routine that I follow through with each morning. And then what I have realized about myself in all the years of ministry, that in the morning I am most productive, which means that my brain is geared more towards just getting stuff done. I can sit down at my desk, I can get things done, I can go through my task list, knock things out. And so I work much better in the morning. I'm not super social in the morning. I'm just very focused and, I want to get stuff done. But what I've also realized is on the other side of lunch, I find myself a lot more ready to talk, ready to engage. It's harder for me a lot of afternoons to really focus in and get hard mental energy tasks done. It's better for me to meet with people, to sit down across the table over a cup of coffee, or whether it's, coming into my office and sitting down and processing through things, or having a team meeting, collaborating on ideas and planning stuff. I work much better in the afternoon for that. Mornings, it's a little bit harder. I'm probably a little bit more laid back in the mornings, a little bit more chill as far as if I'm in a meeting, I'm not saying a ton. And it's what I've learned my daily rhythm is. Mornings, I'm much more productive with cognitive, cerebral thought process and problem solving. Afternoon, I'm a lot more social and a lot more, engaging with people and a lot more open to meetings. And that's my daily rhythm. And so as long as I stick to that, I am very productive and get a lot done. Now, if I flip those around and I try to do very hard thinking projects and tasks in the afternoon, what I will find is I will get a lot less done. It's a lot, it's drudgery at times for me to get it done, even to the point where, especially when I was working in an office with, a larger staff, I would find myself in the afternoons, I'd work for a little bit, and then I would find myself just kind of wandering out into the common area and stopping by people's offices and seeing how they were doing and asking questions. And I just found myself doing that more than focusing and getting the job done. Whereas if I try to do meetings in the morning, I'm a lot more, like I said, a lot more laid back. I'm not as productive. I'm not as engaging. I even, struggle to process the meeting at times, depending on how I'm feeling that specific morning. And so I just figured out that for me, that's what the rhythm is for me. So my question is for you, what's your rhythm? What's the daily rhythm that works best for you? Maybe you are more of a morning person, social, engaging. You want to have your meetings up front. And maybe you're more productive in the afternoon. Part of it is figuring out what works for you, but then also what works for your team. If you are a high engaging person in the morning with lots of meetings, but the rest of your team is struggling just to make sense about life itself, maybe you need to find a common ground middle. Maybe it's moving your meetings to the middle of the day, so like 11 to 1 or something like that, so that you and your team can be somewhat on the same page or find some common ground. Sometimes tension between lead pastors and staff, or even staff pastors and their volunteers, or whatever it is, sometimes the disconnect is not about ideals or about how things should be done. Sometimes the disconnect is just in the daily rhythm or even the weekly rhythm that you operate under. And so I want to encourage you, number one, figure out what your rhythm is. How do you function best? How do you operate best? When are you most productive in the specific areas that you oversee? And place those tasks or those areas that you work on in the right part of the day that works best for you. And what you'll find is not only will you be more productive, but you'll enjoy the day better because you're not fighting against the natural rhythm that you have as a person, whether it's, your personality is dictating that, or sometimes just our bodies, our physiology is dictating that, because we don't want to move around in the mornings, or maybe we want to sit in the afternoons and not be moving all over the place. Figuring out those rhythms will help you not only be productive, but have more energy and feel better about the day at the end. And so you'll enjoy going into the office, you'll enjoy ministry a lot more, and you enjoy your teams and the things you get done. So just a little quick tip for you today to help you in your days to be more productive, enjoy ministry, and be more effective. And so as you can hear, Emerson is done and is ready to go play. And so I'm going to get off of here. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I look forward to hearing and seeing you in the next episode.